Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Look at my dress. Isn't she gorgeous?
Yep.
So, you want to learn how to write a song? Well, you're in luck. I've written thousands and thousands and thousands of songs. So I know a little something about songwriting. And today, we will be discussing just that. So keep watching to learn how to write a song. People think that you need to just wait for inspiration to strike you. Those are bad people. Don't listen to those people. But it is fun when it just kind of strikes you and you're just sitting there and you're like, wow, I wasn't even thinking about that. But then all of a sudden it's like, whoo, here's the best song you've ever written. But it's not always like that. In order to write a song, you gotta do the work. It's just that simple. You gotta sit down every day and train yourself, even if you don't have anything to say that day. If you just show up and you say, today is the day that I'm gonna write a song, and you try and you sing your little heart out, and everything bad comes out, then you're closer to a better song. I had watched this video of Ed Sheeran one time, and he basically said that as a songwriter, it's almost like a dirty tap, and you turn it on and all this water is coming out, and it's all really shitty water, brown, disgusting flow. Then starts to trickle in some of the clear water, but still mixed in with the clear water is still this like mush, and then all of a sudden it's perfectly clear. That's what songwriting is, and that's how I look at it as well, is that it is just a constant flow where you just gotta tap in, you gotta lock in to the energy. You know what I'm saying? Once you're locked in, your songs are gonna suck. Let's be honest. Yeah. Stay with me. But you will get better. It's like anything that you do, there's always a learning curve, and the more you do it, the higher you go. So step one of writing a good song is to figure out what is your concept, what is your story. A lot of my songs are based on storytelling. My song New Americana was about my grandparents, and my concept for that song was to write a song about my grandparents moving from India in the 60s to America, but I didn't want it to be the same old immigrant story that we all hear about how they moved with $7 in their pocket and created this life here. That wasn't the concept. That's not interesting to me. And I felt like every person has their own unique story, and I really wanted to pull that out. So one of my favorite things about my grandmother is that she's obsessed with the fact that she is a beautician, and she's really proud of the fact that she went to beauty school.
Yes, I'm a beautician. I worked like 15 years in Chicago as a beautician.
So I knew that in the song, I wanted to write something about her going to beauty school and making a living. So that was the concept of that song. Once I had that laid out in my head, it was much easier to start pulling things for that song instead of just rambling and hoping that, something fits. So for example, this is the second verse of my song New Americana. She grew up as the oldest of 5 of the siblings. Married a man, but her one true love would be singing. You're coming. Went to school, called herself a beautician. Paid all her bills, cutting hair for a living. But she worked hard so her kids never knew what was missing. And that's when we became. So you get it? That's the concept, and the song goes on, but I wanted to use specific words about her being a beautician and put that in the song, and that's how you make a great lyric. That's another video. It's important to have the concept, and then it makes it easier to write the song. Step 2 is once you have the concept or what you want to write about, then you want to build out the story. What I did for my song New Americana is I built out the story by saying the first verse was going to be about my grandfather moving, and the chorus is, we became the New Americana, don't pretend that you don't want us, in a place, in a state that we both call home. It is about them moving and making America a home. And you'll want to have a verse, a chorus, a verse, a chorus, bridge, big chorus. You can also have a verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, or end it there, or verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, post-chorus, bridge, post-chorus, chorus, post-chorus. That's usually the framework, but really there are no rules. It's just as a listener, we're all used to there being some sort of structure, because otherwise it would be chaos, utter, complete chaos. And we all have those songs, but they're quite experimental, and if you want to do it, do it. You do you, I support. But you do need some structure in your life, and you need some structure in your song. Moving on. 3, how do I write the melody and the words? Where are they going to come from? Where do they come from? Where does all this stuff come from? Nobody knows, dude. As a songwriter, you have to realize something. It's not your song. You might feel like it's your story, sure. Everybody has a unique perspective, but it is actually a spiritual gift that you have been given. Everybody can tap into this. You have to think of yourself as a vessel. At least this is what I do. You don't have to do anything. But since you asked, I will literally shut off. I close my eyes, I put on record, and I pick up my guitar and I play chords. I don't think. Whatever needs to be sent to me, and I allow it to come through me, and it's literally magic. I don't care if it sounds loony. There is a magic to songwriting, and that's what you're tapping into. When you don't overthink anything and you just let it happen, and you're not worried like, oh my god, someone is gonna hear this, what are they gonna think? That's when your best melodies come in, and your best lyrics come in, and your best writing comes in. You have given over control to whatever needs to take control there. But I will say that doesn't come easily. That comes with practice. It's a real skill just to be able to shut off and let good melodies come out. And they will be bad. Again, think about the tap. The tap is flowing. You gotta be in the flow state. Oh my god, I just got that. That was really good. You know that movie, The Soul? It's called Soul. You know that part where they're just moving and they're just in the flow state? It's a real thing. That's a real thing. You need to enter into that flow state and let the melodies come to you. Trust they will be bad. Know that they will be bad. But also trust that they will get better and they will get good and they will become your own style of melodies. Once you start writing songs, people ask, how do you develop your own sound? How do you develop your own style? You just do it over and over and over again. There will be commonalities between all of the melodies that you're writing. How to write melodies is that you don't overthink it. You just push record on your voice memo and you let it flow. Number 4, how to write lyrics. Lyric writing for me is probably the most difficult and the most rewarding, because I think that lyric writing is really where the craft comes in. What I mean by that is the most beautiful part of songwriting is listening to the lyrics and knowing that it means something to someone, and being able to relate to someone else's story through music is such an amazing thing. And give yourself a pat on the back, because just the fact that you're trying to write a song right now about your life is so difficult, and people should recognize that, and I recognize that. I'm proud of you. You're almost there. Once you have the concept down, you should go into detail. You add imagery to the song. You want to add the drama. Nobody wants to hear a vanilla song. Nobody wants to hear a boring lyric. They want something dramatic, something theatrical. This is songwriting, baby. This isn't real life. Well, it can be real life. It should be real life, but it's in a version of a song. We're literally singing about things that have happened. You want to add in the flair, add in your own twist to it, add in the art of storytelling. How you do that is you write all the time. You, my friend, are now a writer. You have to identify as a writer. You have to take out your phone in the middle of the day and just start writing things. Oh my god, this person walking down the street was so beautiful, and I wish that I could go up and talk to them, but I don't have the confidence for that, and now my hair is blowing in the wind and somehow I feel a bit prettier, so I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna say hello. You just gotta flow. Like, you just got to let the words, your thumbs, your typing, whatever medium you want to use in today's day and age. I don't advise writing because sometimes your brain works much faster than your hand. You just have to write as much down, and then what I do is I'll sit there and I'll type out a whole story, and then I'll go through everything what I typed and I'll start pinpointing the words that I like, and I'll take out a word from here, I'll take out a word from this paragraph, I'll take out a line from this, and then I'll start crafting the story. I like to think of lyric writing as a puzzle, because sometimes the lyric will come in the second verse and the last line, and you're like, well, I don't have the first verse line yet, so what am I gonna do with this? And so you write it on notes or whatever, and you start basically putting your little puzzle together until you have a perfectly line by line by line thing. The most rewarding thing that you can do is hitting that bang last line, because a lot of the time the last line is the hardest. And last line, I mean, it could be up here when everything else is done, but you just need that punch of a line. Another thing that I do is I'll put voice memos on, and as I'm singing the melodies and as I'm off in my head, I'll start to say words from those melodies, and I'll listen back to the voice memo, and the words can be absolute trash, but there will be some good words in there. And so I'll just write down the word when I'm listening back to it on my laptop. I'll just be like, okay, cool. And then I will start to piece together my puzzle that way, just finding cool words. Another way to write really good lyrics is whenever you hear a good word out in the wild, in the real world, wherever you are on TV, you write it down. For example, my song Lola, I heard the word on the TV. They said craving. They said they were craving a cupcake. I took that word and I just thought, wow, craving is such a cool word that I haven't heard people talk about craving someone's love.
Now I'm craving your attention.
And that's how Lola came up, was some dude on the television talking about craving a cupcake. So I don't even remember what show it was, but I hope he got his cupcake. I don't know, but I did get a song out of it. So write down good words and your lyrics will come from your Rolodex of words as well. Now we have the concept, we have the structure, we have the melody, we have the lyrics. What's next? Put everything together and refine it. Play that lyric over and over and over. Play that chorus over and over and over till you know that it feels right. I have so many songs that I have the first verse, the chorus, the second verse, the chorus done, but the second verse somehow fits better in the story. Even though I've played it a billion times as a second verse, I just switch it around. Now the second verse becomes the first verse. The first verse becomes the second verse. You just have to refine and restructure until you feel like it's complete. I have done what I needed to do. My song is finished. I'm a songwriting god. You won't feel that way the first time around. Maybe you will. You'll feel like I'm getting somewhere. Then you'll think, wow, this is the greatest song ever. Oh my god, this is gonna be my biggest hit. Then you'll listen back to it and it's trash. It's just a process. Then you'll listen to it again the next day and think, okay, it's not so bad, but it's not my best song. That is the flow chart of songwriting and being an artist. And that's just what you signed up for, or like me, didn't sign up for. That's just who you are. You are that person on earth and you just gotta roll with the punches. And so once you've played around with the structure and you feel good about it, then my God, you've done it. You've made your song. And that, my friends, is how to write a good song. This is important. Songwriting is not something that should be taken lightly. It is a serious, beautiful, amazing, spiritual, fantastic skill that you can do. It's a craft. It is something that will not come easy at first, but the more and more you work towards it, the better your songwriting will be. This world is so big. Don't ever think that this pop star is already writing pop songs. I can't write a pop song. No, there is space for everybody here. There is so many people who listen to music, so many different genres that people love, so many different emotions and moods that you can fit in. Keep at it. I know you can do it. Hopefully that was helpful. If there's any song that you're working on or you want to just write down in the comments, get people's opinion. This is a community. Again, I love all of our people here and we all are here to support each other, to uplift each other. I don't know if I will be doing more of these music type of videos, but if you really liked this music style, then make sure to leave a comment. I could go on and on about songwriting. Songwriting is something that I take a lot of pride in. I feel very confident in my music and the lyrics that I've written. I just want to share that with you guys because I've learned a lot. This is just my learnings onto you. So if you like this, make sure to subscribe. Share it to someone who you think needs help with their songwriting because their lyrics are trash. Or don't do that. Just send it to someone that you think would benefit from learning how to write a song. So, alright, that's all. Love ya. Bye. See you next time.